You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Good morning, kids. Oh, Papa Charlie, the storyteller, is back again. And I've got an interesting story to tell you today about something that my dear friend Lowell Tarbert, who was my good buddy, and I did many years ago. We were about 8 years old, probably. And we did a lot of things together. And today, I think you'll enjoy our story. But first off, I will tell you that welcome all of you, grandkids and kids out there. I love to tell stories, and I hope I get better and better. Tell your friends about me. And if you like my stories, give me a like. And tell your friends to tell their friends. So pretty soon, a lot of kids can enjoy these stories because they're going to learn a lot. Okay? This is the way it was 80 years ago when I was a little boy. And today's story is called An Embarrassing Time. And once in a while I look down some notes because I tend to get carried away talking and I forget some important stuff. So forgive me if I look down a little bit because I have a lot of stories in my head, and I sometimes go on little bunny trails and tell you things that are about another story. So I try to stay focused on one story at a time, okay? So bear with me. I love you kids, and I hope you like me. Okay. One summer afternoon, Lowell and I were thinking, what can we do now? And somehow it came up, let's go down to the sandbank. The sandbank was a large bank of sand that was about 4 blocks or about a quarter mile from our house. And so he asked his mommy, Mrs. Tarbert, if we could go. He could go. My mom didn't care. I could go almost anywhere because she trusted me, and I always came home. I kept myself safe and never got in any serious trouble, but sometimes I got in a little bit of trouble. Today is one of those probably, and I'm going to show you a picture now of what a sandbank is. A sandbank is formed when the glaciers melted all the snow and it flushed out along the state of Ohio. In a certain area, they flushed out a lot of sand that piled up in big banks. This is called a sandbank. Our bank was not quite this high. This is about 60 feet high. Ours is about 40 feet high. And this here is very soft sand. It's all been washed out. You can see the ruts in here caused by erosion. That's where the rain comes down and washes the sand out of the cracks. Now this is not pure sand up here. This is clay, a little bit of clay mixed with sand. That's why it's still there. And down here is the sand that's been washed out. It's soft. This is the sand that our parents came down to the sandbank for, to get for. Father sometimes made cement and used this sand, mix it with cement and cement some bricks together or whatever. Or fill your sand blocks with this sand. Very nice and clean sand. Well, anyway, this is where we're going to go. And I'll get to that in a minute, okay? But right now, I'm going to tell you some other things. We thought, you know, the sandbox, Lowell had a big sandbox in his backyard, but when you're 8 years old, you're too big for a sandbox. Sandboxes are wonderful to make things, to make roads for little trucks and cars, to make little tunnels, and to just make mountains. You can mold stuff in a bucket. As long as the sand is damp, you can do that. If it's dry, you have to wet it first. But we thought we'd go down here because this sandbank was about 1,000 times bigger than any sandbox. And Lowell said to his mother, we're going down the sandbank. Okay, she says, yes, as long as Chucky goes with you. I thought, wow, somebody who trusts me. And I thought, that's really nice that she trusts me. And so Lowell could go with me because he was known as a mischievous kid to his mom and dad and to many of the neighbors. Now mischievous is a word I'm going to have you pronounce it first. Mischievous. 3 syllables. It's spelled Mischievous. And it means one who does things or plays tricks on people to annoy them and sometimes even cause hurt. So Lowell was known to do that. And I'll give you a couple examples of mischievous behavior that you can find maybe around your home. For example, let's say your dog or cat takes and hides your dad's slippers. So every time your dad goes to find his slippers to put them on, they're not there. And he's got to look all around the house to find them. And the dog likes doing it. He does it over and over again. Well, you say that dog is mischievous. He's causing a little trouble. He's annoying. Or you could say, let's say the neighbor boy comes over to your house when you're not there and lets the air out of your bicycle tires. So half the time you want to go ride your bike and all of a sudden you see the tires are flat. So you pump them up again and pretty soon you find out who's doing it and you say, he's mischievous or he's a troublemaker. He does annoying things to me. That's what it means. Okay, you learned a new word today. Mischievous. Some people say mischievous, but it was a very common word when we were children. Parents called things like they were. They did not try to cover up for their kids. If their kid was naughty or bad and they heard about it, they gave them a spanking. Or sometimes they would give them a Dutch rub on the side of the head, and that's like this. It hurts a little bit, not much, but it calls attention to your behavior, so you change your behavior. And so now we're going to walk down to the sandbank. It's about 4 blocks. Takes about 10 minutes to get there. We walked. I was barefoot. Lowell had shoes on, but most neighbor kids didn't go barefoot. But our family all went barefoot all summer long until we were about 13, 14 years old. And our feet were tough. In fact, our feet got so big and swollen during the week, when it came time to go to Sunday school on Sunday or church, we could barely get our feet into our shoes because they were all swelled up from being banged around all week and running on gravel, whatever. We could run like crazy at bare feet. So now we come to the sandbank. And I want to show you what we did here. This is soft stuff. It's hard to run on. It's fun to play in, but you can't make tunnels out. You have to find some place. You dig some of that away, and then underneath is the wet sand you can use for making roads for your trucks or cars, or to play and make forms and stuff. But what we did, we climbed up the side here. It's pretty steep. And then up on top here is grass, and there were some few trees. There were paths up here, little trails. We would run around with our bare feet. Lowell took his shoes off, and we ran as fast as we could. And Lowell could run a lot faster than me because he was smaller and lighter, and I could never catch up with him. So anyway, we'd run around here for a while, and when they said, hey, you know what? Let's do something different. And so we started doing this. We knew this was real soft, so we would run over the side here, full blast, leap in the air, and leap down about 15 feet and land on this sand here and just slide on down. Sometimes we'd even roll down, but it was fun. We had a lot of great times there. Then we got tired of doing that, so we took some sticks and we would cut away this here and make a nice smooth rounded area like a sliding board. So I'm not sure where we did exactly what part of this, but we found the best place to make one and we started sliding down. And it was pretty good, except we had short pants on. And the short pants the sand kept blowing up the pant leg and jamming against our butt. We couldn't go very far, so we took our pants off and our underpants and laid them aside. And then we could slide down our bare bottom much better. We would slide clear from here all the way down, and you go pretty fast. Of course, when you get down here, it gets not so steep, and you put your feet out and you slow down. And you run up here. We did that for a long time, and we were still doing that. We probably been there 2 hours because we ran around here for a while. Then we played in the sand down here. Then we made the slide and kept sliding and sliding. But about the time our bottoms were getting sore from rubbing on the sand, we heard a car horn go beep, 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 whatever it did. And here is Lowell's mother. The road was right down here in front of this, and she's blowing the horn, trying to get our attention. So she says, "Lowell, come over here." And of course, Lowell ran over there, no pants on, nothing. She says, "Where are your pants?" He says, "We took them off. They're over there." And she looked over at me, and I turned away because I didn't want her to see my loolie. And she said, "You boys, you got 5 minutes to find your pants. And if you don't get them quick, you're going to walk home naked." So we went up here, and with sand we dug out for the slide, we think that's where we covered them up. So we dug and dug, and we finally found our pants, but we couldn't find some of the old socks. We found his shoes. I couldn't find my underpants either. So we went home without underpants on, just our pants on. And she dropped me off at my house, and she was a little disappointed that we did that, but mothers don't understand. Kids want to have fun, and sometimes with your pants on, you can't slide as far, and definitely with the shoes on, you couldn't either. In fact, when you have bare feet, you can run so fast in the sand with shoes on, it just doesn't work that well. So anyway, we went home that day, and I wanted to make sure I covered all the points. Now, the following week, Mrs. Harbert still had faith in me because this wasn't too bad. But the following week, Lowell and I went back there and we found our underpants. But we continued playing up there on top of the bank where the grass was, the paths and stuff. And I did something that was really bad. And I won't tell you about it today, but I'll tell you about it next time. So you tune in and find out. The title will be something like Mrs. Tarbert Loses Faith in Chucky. So, hey, I hope you enjoyed the story today. Hope you learned a new word, mischievous, or some people say mischievous. But some kids are what they would say hell-bent on mischief. Mischief's another word, means the same thing. And Lowell was more that way than I was. I was trained by mom and dad to be more obedient, and I went to Sunday school. I knew what the Lord expected of me in behavior, and Jesus said we should honor our mother and father, and we should not cause problems, we should love people, so forth. But I was not an angel, even though Mrs. Tarbert thought I was okay. So that's the story for today. I hope you like it. Tell your friends about me, and I want to tell you something. Honor your mother and father, and don't do anything that would bring shame to them, okay? And I'll see you next time. Bye now.